10 years ago, a lot of runners were stopped at mile 25 when the explosions went off. They were all invited to run Boston a year later. And in 2014, the running community turned out for Boston big time. As B.A.A. president and CEO Jack Fleming tells Kate Merrill, the return to the course was a celebration of resilience.
10 years, 10-year remembrance is always going to be a moment of reflection. Every year since 2013, we do stop, remember April the 15th. It's an important day, will always be in Boston's history. But in particular this year, absolutely, we as an organization, we as a city, as a community, are mindful not just of wanting to welcome back to Boston the many runners who come every year, but have in mind that the eyes of locally, nationally, internationally will be on Boston because they care. We care.
Going back 10 years, what stood out for you first immediately as sort of the response, the community response, the B.A.A. response, or sort of the response of the city and the world immediately following what happened? What do you remember? What is striking to you?
Immediately in 2013 and really into 2014, there was this incredible response and a feeling of giving. I don't know if the strong sense of resilience had started yet, but the immediate response and what can we do? The creation, of course, of the idea of the One Fund was just happened almost overnight, if not within the next day.
It was pretty amazing, wasn't it, to watch this unfold right away when, instead of being sort of shell-shocked and panicked, which you would think, how that all happened so quickly.
It was leadership from many quarters of not only the city, but the communities, the Commonwealth, the country, the industry. We hadn't seen anything come together like that so quickly. We organizationally were just very fortunate to be the recipients, as were so many others, of this support that everyone wanted to show. You asked about the immediacy. Yes, in some way, everyone thought that the best that they could do would be to come back the very next year, and they wanted to participate. Well, when you start to look into the Boston Marathon and just what's reasonable, okay, no, it wasn't going to be possible to have hundreds of thousands of people running the Boston Marathon. So how can everyone participate? And I think that's when we, as a city, as a community, were able to almost redefine what participating in the Boston Marathon meant. Not just running or moving 26.2 miles, but participating in the Boston Marathon thereafter meant coming on to cheer anyone running even louder, staying even longer, coming into town and supporting one of the businesses or the restaurants, or in the case of those who were fundraising for one of the nonprofits, not only making a contribution or a donation, but attending one of their fundraising events. This was a whole new thing.
Obviously, we know about the bad, but what is the good that came out of 10 years ago? Whether with the race, with the organization, what changed 10 years ago, or what has developed over the last 10 years that has made this organization and the race even better because of what happened 10 years ago?
Those who had ever participated in Boston, whether it be as an active runner or wheelchair racer or volunteered or as part of the organizing group, etc., had experiences, hopefully, that were positive. But after 2013, many others were drawn to the Boston Marathon in subsequent years to see, okay, well, we're hearing a lot of all of these special things about Boston. Just what is it about Boston that makes it so special? So, and those here, those who knew already, became even more protective of this event. I don't know that there was this idea that it was going to not come back stronger. We feel that there was always a sense that when we get back, and of course we all together as a city, as the communities that do put on the Boston Marathon, along with the B.A.A., worked with everyone to make sure that 2014, 2015, 2016 became again, and we were sure that it would be a safe, family event. I'm not sure whether event is the right word.
I think it's an event.
It's more than a race.
Oh, yeah.
It's more than an event. It's a happening. It's an important moment every year. Mm-hmm. It's a source of, can be a source of pride. It can be for many, what Boston stands for. When we think about things that are synonymous with Boston, internationally, domestic, Boston Marathon is one of them. We know that. So there's a good responsibility that comes with that. We want to show the best of what Boston is all about, and that's what we as a city are working towards.
Did it make the B.A.A. even better, do you think? It may be more in tune to the community than it ever was before, or what are the changes within this organization as far as maybe taking a step back and saying, this is more than a road race?
We were individually the recipients of so much of the community's support, love, really, our volunteers, and we wanted to repay that. We wanted to do our part in repaying that. We know that Boston stands out for so many, for their own reasons. So yeah, over the century plus, 127 years in 2023, we've evolved as an event, as a race, as a city. It's more than a marathon. It's more than just running. Thinking right now of not only the tremendous competition and participation from wheelchair racers, but hand cyclists and those in para-athletic divisions and other adaptive programs, duos, visually impaired, those with upper limb impairments, lower limb impairments. And we're still on that journey. We have more to do there.
This year on Marathon Monday, can you talk about this sort of balance of remembering but also the joyfulness that is the Boston Marathon, how you strike that balance?
April the 15th is always going to be that special day, and whatever date that Patriots Day, Marathon Monday falls on, there's so much going on, right? And there is so much room to not only reflect, not only remember, not only think about the city and this entire region's resilience, think about how far we've come, but dare I say, celebrate everyone who is putting forth the effort on the road on the streets